High-ranking U.S. official has gone before. He's in Antarctica for a 2-day trip to talk with scientists about the impact of climate change. During his visit, Kerry is going to a research station that the U.S. government operates near the South Pole. That's kind of a cool thing.
The second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin, rushed to the hospital during a visit to Antarctica. The 86-year-old is now recovering in a New Zealand hospital. He was visiting the South Pole as part of a tour group when he got sick. His spokesperson saying he is recovering from fluid in his lungs. It took 2 emergency flights to get him to New Zealand. Hoping the best for him. Yeah, absolutely.
This is Earth Files Earth History. And in the beginning of the video, there was 2 short news clips on 2 important people that have gone down to Antarctica, which was Kerry and Aldrin. And there's also been other delegates and even religious leaders that have gone down there. Now, the reason they're going down there is because there's artifacts that are starting to show themselves as parts of Antarctica is starting to melt. Now, the reason that Aldrin went down there is because since he landed on the moon, I believe that he was taken down there to identify these structures, which would look like the same structures that he saw while he was on the moon. So the image that has the structures in it were taken by the deputy administrator, I guess her name was Dava Newman, on one of Operation Icebridge's English Coast mission. And in this image, in one of these images she took, there's structures all over the place. So we're gonna start, and we're gonna look at multiple shots, color and black and white, and that way we'll be able to see different parts of the structure. So we're going to go to the first image. This picture here is one of the pictures that administrator had taken while she was in flight. And so I took that image and then I colorized and enhanced it so we could get better definition out of this picture. In this enhanced color version, you notice there's 3 bright lights, and there's a glow right here from this light. And this isn't a lens flare. This is from the sun hitting either the metal or the glass that we use to build these structures. And these structures are hundreds, if not thousands, more than 1,000 feet tall. And they're all through this whole area. But where the ice is receding from, they're starting to pop out here along the edges. But the most concentrated and visible structures are here in the back, and we're going to take a look at those in a minute. But first, we're going to look at these bright areas. And you can tell right now that they're reflecting off of highly reflective surfaces, either glass or metal. And this one's so bright that it lights up the inside of this building area, and you can see it, the brightness come through this area also. You notice there's a wall right here. There's a perfect 90-degree opening that goes out. In this area, there's a perfect angle down, and the other side angles up, and then equally between these 2 pieces here, there's some type of marking or structure that's evenly spaced apart. You can't see it yet, but you'll be able to see it in a minute. There's a building right here, and then you can see through it. So, as far as Antarctica is concerned, it is believed by a lot of researchers that this area that these structures built were actually in a warmer area when they were built. And then there was a polar shift, and then this area became the Antarctica area. And then froze over. But it wasn't impossible for the Annunaki to go to Antarctica and build these megalithic structures. Remember, they built on almost every planet and moon and asteroid and comet in our solar system. So this would be no big deal for them. So they could have built this, and it might not been involved in a polar shift. So now we're going to start going to the enhancements. This is one of the 5 enhanced images that we're going to be looking at. The first thing I want you to notice is right back here. Notice this wall or this structure here. Then it has a doorway in it, and then you can see through it. Then when you go in the back, there's a zigzag from a structural wall that's still standing here in the back. Here's another wall here, perfectly straight, perfectly 90 degrees, and as you know, this structure has a horseshoe shape to it, or a U shape, which is pretty common in the way that the Annunaki built their structures. Then whatever this was, it collapsed, and you can see where it's fallen over the wall of this structure, and you can see inside these structures here, and you can see the walls. So I'm going to go to a clearer image so we can see these details better. And then you can see what I was talking about. There's part of this structure with a doorway or entranceway, it looks like here. And it looks like that this structure has fallen this way and it's broken away, just like this one looks like it's broken away and fallen in this direction. And then you can see, I don't know if this is an entranceway or what this is, but you can barely see there's pillars here, and there's like a doorway, a perfect 90 degrees that you can barely see in this area. And then here's that building. Here it's starting to show itself. And it looks like it goes straight through, and that for some reason the sun's hitting it and reflecting off part of this building, but I don't know that for a fact, but I do know this is a building here. And then in this structure I talked about earlier, notice that there's something protruding out of it right here. Now here's the colorized portion. You can see the structures all through here. You can see where they've kind of collapsed. You can see down in this area a lot better. You can see the solid, smooth floor. You can see where that piece is falling over the wall. And there's some type of artifact back there, but I have no idea what it is. But it has a rounded end and a square, and there's something dark on it right here. And then here's a brighter image. There's that building again. And then here's these walls and the separation. And these images turned out pretty good for the distance that I had to take them. But at least we're getting to see some of the structures on it. The Annunaki, I promise you, built giant underground facilities like cities. And when these scientists are going in there, they're finding all kind of stuff, anything from machinery to advanced technology, and they might have even found a area where they kept their spacecraft. So there's no telling what they're going to find in these underground facilities and the areas where some of this ice is starting to melt away. And there's no way they can explain it as an indigenous people that had built this thousands of millions of years ago, because the technology that they're going to find and the way these structures were built, they cannot get around that. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Be watching for my next video. I have a skyscraper that I found in Antarctica, and I'm processing it right now. So thanks again, and this is Tony with Earth Files Earth History, signing out.